Quinacridone Magenta. And then with a tiny brush, I went around my outline. So I'm going to start with the pot. Can you still see the photograph or not? If not, it's okay. So we'll just get going here. So this is a black that I made. I made my black. This is the black, right? I made my black with burnt sienna and ultramarine blue, equal amounts. And then I added Titan buff to make a gray. I'm not adding titanium white because titanium white is a little too strong of a white. So I decided to just go in with Titan buff, which is more of a beigey, white. Sorry. When you're painting, you kind of stop with the logical side, which is the communication side. So you end up just being quiet usually. So when I stop talking, you know what's happening. The brain has shifted to the other side of the brain. So I'm adding a little retarder because, as you know, acrylic dries fast and it gets really sticky if you're not using anything, right? I use medium. I don't use water. Some of you do, and I know who you are, and that's okay. But I'd rather just use the medium to help me with my work. So you may hear my furnace going. It's a very hot day today. I'm using an angled brush, and it's not expensive. So 1/2 black silver made in Thailand. Nothing too crazy for expensive stuff because I'm so rough on my painting anyway. I do have good brushes for some oil paints, and I kind of regret that because my style of painting is really just smooshing and being very rough, and yeah, I'm just getting a general idea here. Any questions so far? No. Okay.
Just so we'll proceed. If you want to ask a question, do so in the chat, and we're going to all stay muted. So speak again, Marissa.
Yeah. So I do have a tutorial sort of video as well on YouTube. Another plug here. That's for birch trees. So this pandemic has really pushed me to go into different directions here, which is kind of nice. Different way. Okay, let's go in here. I start dark to light, and I usually start with my focal point first. So with this painting, it's going to be the flowers and the vase. Then the background comes last. So as I do my landscapes, I usually start off with my trees are the focal point first, and then I do the sky and land last. Yeah. Now I'm combining raw sienna Titan buff. I'm gonna do the flowers up here. They're hydrangeas, the white sort of yellowy hydrangea. And I don't know if you can see my palette, but Francis, you're like the director here. You can switch to the palette if you like.
Yeah, I
Just
don't think I can unless you were to mute yourself on this screen and then unmute yourself on the other, and then you would.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll do that when I'm having my wine. Okay. So now the same color with more Titan buff goes in here. These are roses actually. So these are roses in here, and I'm just doing big blobs right now. Just to give the impression that those are flowers. And I put it in here. So Cerulean Blue and Titan buff. So I like Cerulean Blue. It is opaque. And I like the blue because it's warm. In temperature, this is the warmest blue. So if you're doing fall skies, Cerulean Blue is really a cool blue to use. Then you bring in Titan Buff, which is a warm white. So I want this painting to be a little bit on the warm side, even though we're talking blue.
So we have a question, and that is, do you always paint while drinking wine, Marissa?
Gee, I wonder who asked that question.
The question is from Betty.
I knew it. The answer. What do you think, Betty? Not all the time. There could be vodka. There could be. No, okay. No. It's just it's just fun to make jokes. So Cerulean Blues making a giant mess here. Yeah. Now acrylic dries really fast, which is kind of why I like acrylic a lot, because after I go around here, the pot should be dry, right? Then you can work here again, and then work here again, then go back around. So that's I like doing that. So let's add some greenery here. Oh, is there any feedback? Okay, my husband's Getting a little bit of feedback. Let's lighten this pot for a little bit. It looks like it's made of what? Stainless steel, aluminum. Let's just lighten it. So I'm just going in with Titan Buff, a smaller brush. This is one. Sorry. 3/8. Yeah, okay. It's supposed to be. I guess I grabbed the 3/8, but in your supply list, it was 1/4. Just wanna, because you can see I'm an impressionist painter, right? So this is not detailed by any chance. It's just being really fast and furious and trying to just make an impression. And the reason I like going this way is because I just like to make an impression, more of a painterly style rather than being too realistic. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not me, right? You'll know who you are as you paint. Through abstract painters, you find out, oh wow, I really enjoy doing abstracts, even though you've been working on something else before. Oh, this is I switched. So this is the raw Sienna Titan Buff. So sort of dry brushing right now. This brush didn't even get changed.
So Betty is asking, is your brush strokes part of the impressionist style? Because there are difference when you make long, smooth strokes. So I don't really know for sure what she's asking, but you know, you're doing sort of short, dry brushing. So I guess she wants to know if you made long, smooth strokes, how would it be different?
I think the impressionist style was putting a color down, and put it down, and then go with another color down, and then maybe another color down. And that would be the impressionist style. And then when you see them as a whole, it resolves into a unit. So I'm sort of influenced by the impressionist style, which you're gonna see once I get going with the flowers. Right now, with all the swooshies right now, what I'm doing here, I guess that's the Marissa style. But I hope that answers your question, Betty, because the impressionists put color upon color upon color upon color, and then they read as one. So technically, I am putting a color upon color upon color, but just in a swooshy way. That is anyone painting? Do you know? Anyone raise their hands if they're painting too?
I am, but it's a pastel.
Ah, that is Ruth.
Hi, Marissa. It's one of my photos.
Cool. So I'm continuing with the Cerulean Blue Titan Buff again. Just going in, dabbing color. I'm not blending, right? So blending is like this, right? Ni, 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 ni. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing more dabs of color. So we'll go back again here. Does everybody see the screen? Because I see Ruth. I see you, Ruth.
Yeah, it's really important to stay muted. Otherwise, we see you whenever you make a noise. So now you see me, and we don't want to see me. We want to see, we want to see Marissa.
Just the painting. I mean, I want to see people too. Yeah. All right. So, how many flowers do we have? 7. That's pretty okay. I made it 8. Oh no, it's an even number. Going against my rules. So let's go back to the roses. So just Titan Buff. So Francis, did you download the picture, and is it available to just be on display every now and again? Was that question right? Francis, you have the image, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect. How many flowers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You got 4 roses trailing off, a blue hydrangea, and a few white hydrangeas there.
There's 1 rose up here.
Up there at the top. Can you guys see it? Is that a rose?
Yeah, and then there's this is a hydrangea as well, right?
These blue ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a hydrangea up there too.
It's just hidden. So
But
Lori
you'll
said she
see it.
counted how many? 10?
Hey, this would be a good time while we're looking at the picture if anybody wants to jump in with a quick question. Would anybody like to jump in with a quick question? You need to unmute yourself or put your hand up and I'll unmute you.
No question. That's okay.
Okay, some people are saying there's 9. Some people saying there are 8. So clearly we.
Let's just.
All right, let's go back to the demo, shall we? And so you want to speak, Marissa, when I go back.
Okay. So I'm gonna start adding the leaves already, and what I'm gonna do is just combine Naples Yellow and Cerulean Blue. So I'm not really deviating from the blues. I'm still using Cerulean Blue pretty much. Naples Yellow's the new color I'm introducing. And that gives you sort of like a pale green. I'm not using any medium here. I'm just going straight color. Cerulean Blue is opaque, right? So it can really cover. Naples Yellow is semi-opaque, so it will really cover too. So with the composition of this painting, the flower actually goes down here, which I didn't like, so I changed it. I made it go here so that it's not pointing towards the edge of your painting. So try to keep people from going away from your painting, leaving, so it's not quite there, not quite on that side. Want people to linger. So still same color, Cerulean Blue and Naples Yellow. Just filling in some of the greenery here. Okay, so now it's pretty much blocked in, right? So now we'll introduce my next medium, which is called glazing liquid.
Okay, we have a quick question about your favorite brand of colors. Forgive me if I don't get to your question right away. I'm very captivated. So there's a picture again, and the question is, what are your favorite paint brands?
Brands? So I like Graham, M. Graham. This one here, it's got the signature there of the artist, M. Graham. It's professional line, and it just applies really nice and smooth. So I like that. And then I also like Golden. The only thing I don't like with Golden is their caps, but that doesn't have anything to do with the color. So I like Golden as well, and I also use liquid Goldens and heavy body. So I like Graham and Golden, my number ones. And I don't know what I have in my brush right now. So we will continue here. So this is just the black that we had earlier. I added a little bit of Quinacridone Magenta. I'm just using another brush to just swoosh it a little bit. So this one doesn't have any color. It's just sort of like, it just helps me move my paint. So some people use paper towel for that. This is what I call sort of like adding a patina. Sort of burnishing. Just want it to look a little bit more antique-like, a little bit older. So this is glazing already, guys. You're applying a thin layer of color on top of a layer that's dry. I like exposing the red. It just harmonizes everything. Okay. Let's just add a little bit of highlights in here. I have to fix my setup because my setup right now is I'm painting in front of my camera. So it's kind of hard to reach. So once I get used to this zoom thing, we'll get some setups happening here.
So we have a question if you are using a glazing medium right now, or maybe it was a minute ago.
This always has glaze now. From now on, when I'm applying paint, it always has the glazing liquid in my brush. To answer your question. Always has this now. It's a white milky. All right, let's get some action here. Okay, so white. Let's bring in titanium white. So sometimes I double load. So I have titanium white here. And then I can double load with Naples Yellow. So both of them are there. When you apply, it's just gonna give you two colors. And I'm not mixing them. They'll just be together as one. It's kind of just a different look. I like that. I think I'm too far here. Let's just bring that there. Can you hear me whisper? Yeah, so just imagine painting with the camera in the middle. So I have to get myself set up better. Once I start doing more of this. Can you hear my music? It's classical. No. No. Good. I didn't want it to be too loud. Okay, Titan buff and titanium white. So I'm just gonna start with the hydrangea here. So here I'm just dabbing. Let's have something coming out there, even though it's really not there. Just so that it's not a flat top, you know, that hairstyle. Let's bring in some yellows in here, just some shadow in here. indicate shadowing. Let's just put some. So that's like the second go, right? So here's sort of like the third, or is this the, is that the second go? I don't know now. Anyway, so this is still the same Titan buff with Cerulean Blue, and pum 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 like that. Just a little bit of country and a little bit of rock and roll. And no, Betty, I am not drunk yet. Okay, that should be all right. Okay, done. No. All right, so 6:45, right? This is like time is of the essence. So as you know, for those who do demos, like Betty's gonna be your next demo, or is it Bonnie, I think? Yeah, this is really cool. Thank you for. Sort of mixing in some black in between areas here, just to have some shadow. My brush hasn't been actually cleaned, so it's still like, it still has the cerulean blue in it. Okay, this is white. Let's just do a little petal. Spew in your garden. Oh, this is me, Speedy Gonzalez, see? So a way to make your whites whiter is you can add a wee bit of green to it. I don't know why, but it works. So try it. Try a little, add a little, just a tiny bit of sallow green to your white. I'm not doing that right now, but just, that's just like a, something to try out. So maybe I'll just do one more here. So this is Manganese Blue. Manganese Blue is another kind of blue that I like. It's not my favorite, but I like it. I like all colors. It's so hard to pick one, right? It's like, but I like manganese because it is transparent. And so it's really good for glazing.
Any green at all, Marissa? Or a particular green?
Sallow green. Yeah, so the thing is, it's still wet, so I can't really glaze. But can you see the change there a little bit? So I want to have different blues, so that's why I'm adding manganese. And if you look at the picture, this hydrangea has some Naples yellow in it as well. So I'm gonna add that, but it's so wet, so can't do it.
There's the picture again, so you can see.
Yeah, down here, yeah, there's gonna be some Naples yellow in there.
And you have, it's 7:49 right now, so about 10 minutes to finish.
Yep.
And I think we'll give a few minutes for questions again after that, just a few minutes, so we don't take up too much of your time this evening.
Don't do that. Yeah, when it's not dry, you can't glaze. So I think I'll do a little bit of the background. And that'll take us until 7, and then if there's any questions, just let me know. Oh, there's so many nice twirly things happening there. So, and then I was gonna glaze down here with transparent red iron oxide, which I could probably do. That's my favorite color. That is the answer to everything. Well, Titan Buff too, but so I just want to show you how it's gonna look if I add that in here. So it just warms up the can. Does that translate well on Zoom? I don't know. Yeah? Okay, just nod. I can see you, Francis. So technically, that's the last thing you're gonna do, right? So if you wanna depict rust, transparent red iron oxide is the best because it'll just give you that rust quality, and it's just warm up your painting. So if you saw that, that just looks so awesome. And then if you want to warm up a little bit of the flowers, you can also add that later on. You can see how pretty. Sometimes that's all you need, some shadowing down there without really eliminating what you've already put in. So it's not time to do that yet because look, it's still wet. So I was just so excited. I wanted to show that to you guys already. Okay, so background is ultramarine blue and a little bit of a blue gray. And do that. So blue gray, they also have this in golden, but I have mine with the Amsterdam. So I like Amsterdam too, especially if I'm doing if I start off with something abstracted, I want to use some of my not so expensive paint. And Amsterdam is really good quality, but not so expensive. Like this whole big tube is, I don't know, $8. If you get blue, gray, and golden, it's gonna cost you a lot. So I just want to go a little bit. So that's combining ultramarine blue and the blue gray. Just want to bring in some background here before we end. And I'm not too concerned if I don't cover my red wash because red is the complementary color of green. And we have greens there. So I like how they help each other and they support each other because complementary colors complement one another. So here, I mean, you can choose if you want to make this a little bit lighter. If you're doing this on your own, you can add more grayish blue on this side, and then maybe you can leave this side more ultramarine blue so you can have some value change. And then I will do the table. And we didn't get to do this one, but maybe we can. What I could do too is I can finish this and then send it to you, and then you can see it on your next newsletter, I guess, right? Okay. So the table is burnt sienna and the black that we made earlier. I want this really dark. And then there's the burnt sienna. So burnt sienna follows. They're not mixed on the palette, they're mixed on the canvas. So let's pretend that there's some shadow here, right? Because all of that is hanging. So we can make some shadow here a little bit. Then you can do this, right? Did you see that? So it's easy to do that when you're working on a smaller painting. It's kind of hard when you're dealing with something bigger. I wanted to. Let's pretend that this is the table. Ooh. And I want to lighten my greenery there too. As it's coming here, coming forward, you have to make your colors warmer. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more yellow-green than this blue-green. And then as it is in the back and it recedes, then you have a more cooler tone. So we are approaching 7 o'clock. So I think this is kind of where we're gonna end, maybe. Yeah?
It's just beautiful.
Ah! Really? Ah! Far from over.
Yeah, I can see that, you mentioned the hydrangea in the front needs a little bit of work, but I guess
Yeah.
Let's just open it up to questions here. So I hope everybody can unmute themselves. If you can't, just let me know. And if anybody has any questions and I think Marissa had better just do a little bit more on that hydrangea while we ask. So shoot, you can unmute yourself if you wish.
They all went to sleep.
Ruth, why don't you show us what you're doing? Unmute yourself and just show us what you're doing since you did one too.
I didn't get very far. Can you see that?
No.
Lift it way up, Ruth. Say something so we can see it. Lift.
Oh, it's what is it? Orchids. It's orchids.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hello.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. Okay, I wanted to ask Marissa one thing. When you sketch it out and you put on the underpainting, as you will, the red that you started with.
Yep.
Okay, because I work only in watercolors, so I don't work in acrylic.
Oh,
That's
yes.
by the way.
Yeah.
As you know, I love the bits of red that stay. See, in watercolor, it's exactly opposite. You would put that on toward the end. But
Right.
still, what was that red that you used exactly? Was that the magenta?
Yes. Yeah, I used the
Quinacridone
Quinacridone Magenta.
Okay, and your black was made with the French Ultramarine and the burnt sienna. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
sort of like a Payne's gray kind of color. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Good.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's great.
Thank you. Oh my. Thank you, Bonnie.
Anybody else want to tell Marissa she's great? Go for it, guys.
It's Alice.
I'll just say it for you. I think this is beautiful, and I love the way the hydrangea is coming out.
Thank you.
This is Alice, and most people don't know me, but I'm really impressed by your work, Marissa. It's beautiful.
Alice?
Yeah.
Oh, have we met before?
I'm really impressed because you're doing that around a camera.
I know.
and it's a beautiful work, and it's been so wonderful to watch the whole process as opposed to just seeing parts of it. So I love the fact that you did this on Zoom, and I want to say thank you to Francis and the other people on the committee, on the executive, who worked really hard to get this together. And so thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.
On behalf of the committee, we appreciate that, and we were very happy to do it. Betty, did you have something to say? I see you're unmuted.
Oh, I was just going to say that I really enjoyed watching the whole process too. So I thought it was very interesting. Way to go, Marissa. You're a hard act to follow.
So
Betty.
is everybody here a member? Can you say if you're not a member? How about that? Because I think I recognize most of you as members. Can you either put up your hand? I know there's a little hand thing, or just let me know if you're not a member here tonight. Julia, you're not a member? Oh, Julia.
I'm a member.
Okay.
You're a member, yeah.
Okay, so we're all members here. And so we
Yeah.
have 2 more of these scheduled, and they are open to non-members. So if you wanted to invite a friend, that would be great, because, you know, in these difficult times, we would like to, you know, have some other people come in, and maybe they'll love it and be a member. So did you like this tonight? Is this something you want us to continue with?
Absolutely.
I think so.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's great.
Oh, good. And you know what? The tape recording is going to be available to you too. We're going to have a secret gallery on our website for members only, where you're going to be able to access this. So
that's really cool.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, guys.
There's our president.
There's Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
I haven't seen you in the year.
Oh, I know, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Erin.
My.
I wanted to say, Marissa, you of course are doing a wonderful job, and thank you so much for being our first one to volunteer to do this.
Great. I'll get go.
Yeah, Frances has done a great job organizing this. Thank you very much, Frances. We really do appreciate all the work you put into this. So I'm going to say I think this went really well. So I'm looking forward to the next ones that Frances has lined up. So hopefully we'll see the same people plus more at those. Also, I'm going to just jump one more thing quickly here. I don't know if you saw in the newsletter and recently that we have a member survey. It was quickly thrown together. There was a couple questions asking about whether you'd be interested in doing these online demos. But I guess I've had a few responses already, and I think I didn't maybe make the questions very clear. But anyway, what I would like, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you could fill out that survey, and at the end there is just like a general comments question, let us know. It's completely anonymous, so you can let us know exactly what you thought of this demo. And I mean, in regards of using Zoom, like the whole aspect of it, you know, the weekly idea, anything that you have to say. We'd really appreciate some feedback on this for our future ones. So
That's
if you
right.
could,
It's going to affect whether we're going to go ahead to do more. And that's what we're hoping to do, is that this response is really good. And if you know, we've obviously heard you right now. And if you get on that questionnaire that's in the newsletter, then we'll have it in writing.
yeah.
And also, can I just say there's a couple more announcements. I might as well go ahead. The Peony Festival has gone virtual. It's in the newsletter as well. And so they're looking for peony art. They will receive submissions to the art show in the city. And we can also have our very own art show. So you're only allowed to submit one to the city. So we're just going to have another art show as well, so that you can do as many peonies as you like, and we'll put it up. And also, we're looking for people to do demos. You can either pre-record, or we could go on Zoom and do it live. So if you have any questions about that, you should get a hold of me. My email is in the newsletter, and I will do my best to send you all the information. So basically how it's going to work is the city is just going to have our links up. So we will, if you want to do a live Zoom, then people can, you know, go to that city website, they can click on the link and go to the Zoom meeting. And of course, once you've done it, we can also put the recording up. So I know that some of you are probably great at doing that. I think I'm going to try it. I've never done plein air, like maybe twice. And I'm definitely, you know, it would be exciting to do it. And of course, I am very out there. I do all kinds of crazy things. So, you know, just follow my lead. I don't care if you're shy, just jump in, okay? Because, you know, it's all about promoting art, really. Like, don't even think about it as promoting yourself anymore. Like, this is just like, let's encourage people to join this organization, keep growing it, do fun things like this, and have fun, because art is just good for us. It's just good for us in so many ways. So I think we're going to call the meeting there. I'm going to ask Marissa to speak so we can see that picture one more time. So.
I think that's all I can do for now, right? It looks kind of okay. It's gone through everything like 3 times. Usually, you know, you need time for things to dry and rest, and you can look at it again the next day. But it's pretty much just the way my style is. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the demo, and maybe you can practice this kind of style, and if you have any questions, just email, or you can, I don't know how,
I know, Marissa, that I am going to be practicing this style. I am totally going to be cranking out some peonies. I'm the kind of person, I love that there's contests for me. If there's no contest, I'm not as interested.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, I know. Okay.
It's a contest, right?
Yeah, well, it's not
In the
really a
peony.
contest, but you know, if they're saying submit your peony work, then
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to do that. So I hope that the rest of you will get that way too. And I think it's just beautiful. I want to thank you again for joining us. You did a great job, and you know, we know there's limitations when you're doing a demo like this, but that's amazing, and we're looking forward to seeing it in the next newsletter, and probably we'll put it up either in the OAA sharing place. I hope all of you have joined there already, so that you can also post your own work, and we can put it up there. We can put it up on our website. We might even, well, we'll figure out where to put it, Marissa, because you know, it's just lovely, and we really appreciate your efforts tonight.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. Sign up for next Wednesday if you haven't already. Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francis.
Most welcome. Take care. Right? Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.